Hello, Dublin! How we doing, everybody? Let's hear it for the Steel Line. All right. Welcome, everybody. You guys jazzed for this? You look like it. Welcome to the legendary Whelans. This guy, I saw you last night. You're everywhere. Dublin, you guys have been incredible. Can we hear it one more time for the Steel Line, though? Because they've been really marvelous. Also, Neo, who was doing all of the music when we were coming in. Incredible job by Neo. Can we hear it for him, too? Thank you so much for being here, guys, and filling this room. You guys are obviously such a huge part of what makes the NFL special. You are the NFL. Without the fans, we would be nothing. And to have the game here in Dublin, I'm sure you guys have been unbelievably looking forward to this event. I know I have. So give it up for yourselves that we're finally here in Dublin with the NFL game coming tomorrow. This has been such a fun week. I have been splitting G's, pouring pints, trying to figure out how to pronounce Gaelic. It's very difficult. So far, I've only gotten girl in Gaelic because my name is Colleen, so that kind of has worked out a little bit. But we have an awesome day here lined up for you guys with some great panelists. We're going to cover all sorts of stuff for you. But obviously, the league here in Dublin, it's not exactly a new thing because the Steelers, they played the Bears in a preseason game back in, what was that, 97 at Croke Park. I actually ran into Will Walford on the street the other day, randomly, and he was an offensive tackle for the Steelers, among other teams. And he was talking about when he played in that game that nobody even knew a game was happening. And now you look around the city, and there are Steelers jerseys everywhere, all sorts of NFL jerseys. There's banners. This place is decked out, and you guys know how to throw a party. I mean, I've been to other cities all over the world for NFL games. This one is different. Maybe I'm biased, but you guys know how to throw a party here in Dublin. So I cannot wait to see what happens tomorrow. I've seen the energy in the stadiums before. Germany and Munich, they brought it. But I have a feeling that you guys are going to do a little bit better than that. So the bar, it's set. I think you're going to raise it. That's right. Okay, so here's how today is going to go. We have two different panels for you guys. Our first segment, we will have one of Ireland's most prominent NFL voices. He's been covering the league for years, one of the founders of Pro Football Ireland. Boots on the ground to tell us how things have grown here in this country, in this city. We have Michael McQuaid. We also brought in the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, a family here that has such deep roots in Ireland. We're going to talk to him about the vast impact of the Ireland Fund. So this team, this country, how they connect so well. We have Art Rooney II here in the house. And it can't be Commissioner Live without the Commissioner Live. So we will have Roger Goodell in the house for both panels today. Give him a round of applause. And our second panel is not one to sleep on, ladies and gentlemen. We have Hall of Fame running back, Steelers legend, the boss, Jerome Bettis. We have two Hall of Famers, actually. Minnesota Vikings Hall of Famer and one of the fiercest D linemen to ever play the game, Mr. John Randall is here. So we'll talk a little bit about the current state of the NFL and why the game is just so incredible right now. We're going to talk about the LA 28 Olympics and flag football, the importance of that, how it's grown the game all over the world. And I thought maybe it would be cool to talk about the actual game, too. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the matchup coming your way tomorrow at Croke Park. But before we get to our first panel, who wants to win a prize? You guys like prizes? You like free stuff? Me too. I love it. Okay, so we have some good ones, and we also have a huge one at the end of the show, so make sure you stick around for that. How about we kick things off with a little terrible towel twirl contest, all right? So we're going to see your moves here. Let me get this over here. We're going to pick 2 people. Does anyone not have tickets to the game tomorrow? You guys all have tickets to the game? How lucky is this room? Okay. Well, who thinks they can dance? Nobody. Okay, cool. Does anyone want to get up here and win a prize? Yes? No? This is going well. You guys are great. Nobody. You're like, why are you guys so shy in here, but not in the pubs? I see out on these streets, you're very gregarious. How about you volunteer your friend? Yeah. Oh. You've been volunteered, sir. What a great sport. Okay. So they totally have volunteered to do this contest, these 2. How it's going to work, we're going to have the DJ play a song for 30 seconds, okay? And then each of you are going to show us your skills with the terrible towel. You can dance, you can do whatever you want for 30 seconds. And then the audience members will judge, and they will decide who wins, okay? You guys ready? You have the most important job, all right? So look alive. Here we go. Wait, what's your name, first of all?
Tom McCormick.
Tom McCormick.
Welcome over, Colleen.
Where are you from?
Dublin.
Dublin, okay. And your name?
Maggie Brady.
And where are you from?
Newry.
Okay. All right, here we go, gang. Are you ready? Do you need to stretch it all, get loose? Okay. All right, let's go. Show your moves, guys. Put your back into it. Uh-huh.
Here we go.
All right. You guys have a real future in Dancing with the Stars. It's true. Well, now you can bring these towels with you to the game tomorrow. Good job, guys. I think you both won, actually. Do we want to judge real quick? Who says this is the winner? Oh, all right. How about contestant number 2? Is he the winner? I'm not gonna lie, I feel like you got a good job. All right, let's get this party started. Without further ado, if you followed the NFL in Ireland, you absolutely know this guy. He's not just a huge fan of the game, but he's one of the founders of Pro Football Ireland. He's been building this community, boots on the ground. An unbelievable guy. Had a great event last night, might I add. Let's get Michael McQuaid out here. Come on out, Michael. You're the mayor. Great. Better now. All right, next up from one of the most iconic families in football, the Steelers. They're not just Pittsburgh's team. They are Ireland's team. This family has such deep roots right here in this country. Everybody, please say hello to the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is Art Rooney. Welcome. And finally, the man at the helm. He has helped to grow the game all over the globe. And now he's here in Dublin for the first ever regular season NFL game here. He probably came straight from kissing the Blarney Stone, but that is not confirmed, so don't quote me on it. It is Commissioner Roger Goodell. Bring it in. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. All right, so I'm learning all sorts of slang, guys, like how you getting on. That's something that people say, class, gas, all of it. But I need to know, first of all, how has this week been for you?
It's been incredible. You can just feel the enthusiasm as soon as you get off the airplane. It was great. Actually, I felt it on the airplane because I flew over with a bunch of Steeler fans that met us at JFK. I think we had 45 that were late, and anyhow, they were having a good time all night long. And it was, but you can just feel it. There's a great deal of understanding of our game, and there are people who are interested in learning more about our game, and that's just what we want. So.
Well, as I mentioned before, the fact that there was the preseason game back here in '97 at Croke Park, but now this is the real deal, a regular season game. It absolutely means something in the standings. What does that mean for you to bring this game here to Dublin?
Well, I think for us, we wanted to bring the real thing because our fans understand that, right? They understand the difference between a preseason game and a regular season game, and so we wanted to do that. The Steelers were pushing us very hard to bring the Steelers over here, but we have the Vikings here too, which is it's a great football game at the core. This is a game that people in the States would love to be attending back there, but. I think it's important to bring the best product. And so we have two great teams, and they're the real deal. So that matters.
Art, is it true that you were pushing very hard for the Steelers to be here in Dublin?
Yes.
You can confirm this.
That's a fair statement.
It might be another statement, right?
Absolutely.
Well, how meaningful is this for you, knowing that your family has such ties here with the Ireland Fund and obviously just being from here, the history of it all? How meaningful is this for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to put into words, to be honest with you. I've been sort of pinching myself that this week is finally here. We've been thinking about it for a long time, and so it really means a lot. I first came to Ireland with my parents and brothers and sisters about 50 years ago, and been visiting many times ever since, and so it's really exciting to actually have a real game here now.
Well, Michael, when the fact that you had this incredible event last night for your show and that you've done such an amazing job helping to grow the game right here in Ireland, and honestly, don't take my word for it because Pat McAfee had something to say about it as well. Do we have that video?
Covering the game, McQuaid covers the whole game. McQuaid is on the phone. Yeah. Congrats, McQuaid. You need to meet McQuaid. He's an Irish legend. He's your job, my job, Ty's job.
Oh, man.
He does everything in Ireland. He is one of them. Him and the Irish pro football Irish guys. They've been banging the drum for the NFL in Ireland for a long time. They're getting it. Yeah, I'm sorry. They've been playing the pipe. They've been splitting the G's. Playing the live music. They've been doing the whole thing for the NFL for a long time over there, and getting a chance to see them, get a chance to do, like the NFL taking care of them. Yeah, I think it's very fair. I'm happy to see that. Okay, let's stay in the NFC North covering the game.
Okay. So, first question, do you play the pipes or the harp? And how did everything get started with your show and just your interest in the game in general?
I think before I answer that question, and I know we could have sold this room out 10, 20 times over, to Mr. Goodell, to Mr. Rooney, thank you for giving everybody here, this island, a chance to show what it can do and to have an NFL game here. So on behalf of Irish fans, who I'm sure would all say it, thank you both very, very much. So,
Thank you. All of you.
And I'm loving that jersey, by the way. That's a fantastic jersey. I don't play the pipes, unfortunately. I've never played the pipes. And talking about splitting the G, you were splitting the G last night as well.
I was.
So it was good.
Had a great time.
It's been a number of years now, really trying to not only go to games in London and around Europe, but really trying to honestly beat the drum for Ireland, and that includes obviously both sides of the island, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, the entire island, and to make people proud of where they're from, their heritage, and also the NFL as well. We've done events throughout the island, and year on year it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And I think the biggest thing is there's so many people here. There's maybe upwards of 10 or 20 people that are doing podcasts, really trying everything they can do to grow the game. But guys like Neil Reynolds, who we all know, Ryan Fitzpatrick, I could name 20, 30, 40 people that have came over here on a day's notice or a week's notice and gave their energy when they're over here. But I would say, for us, doing events, doing podcasts, and just interacting with fans, Colleen, and ensuring that they feel like they're close to the game. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're in Belfast, Dublin, or Cork. We all have to get a flight over to London. And I'm really proud of, I'm recognizing so many faces here. I'm really proud of the fan base that is here, and really proud of how far we've all come together. And I think like last night, for example, was a real moment of that. But to have these guys here as well sums that up. So many helping hands that are here that have helped me and so many others, and they know who they are. And I think we're all a little bit emotional today, but very, very excited ahead of tomorrow.
How did this start? How did you get into American football? Because it seems like you are the biggest voice here in Ireland, and I just want to know, everyone has their origin story with the love of the game. What was yours?
I can't tell you the reason why, but for some reason I stayed up in 2010 when I was in college and watched the Colts against the Saints in the Super Bowl in a dorm room by myself, and watched the game. And throughout that next season when I was in college, obviously you may have went out a couple of nights a week and had some fun, a couple of glasses of water. And I remember coming home one night, and it might have been Monday Night Football or Thursday Night Football. Tim Tebow ran it in for the Jets, or against the Jets, towards the end of the game, and all us guys were just staying up watching the game, and it turned into, okay, well, Thursday Night Football's on. I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to get up early on Sunday and we're all going to watch the games together. And over time, it just went there and went there. The first game I ever went to was in Wembley between Washington and Cincinnati, which went on forever, if anyone remembers that. And it opened my eyes, seeing every team represented. I seen a Dallas Cowboys fan and Giants fan sit together, and I thought, well, this is great. We can all get along.
Right?
It's been awesome. It's been a great journey, and now I can't not watch it. Every night, 4:20 in the morning.
That's loyalty.
That's the kind of fan we want. Right?
Exactly.
There you go.
Appreciate that.
You're a star student. I want to know, though, this is so fascinating to me. I love to hear when people fell in love with the game. Obviously, art for you, this was a family thing. I mean, you're born into it. But what was your first favorite memory that you remember from football?
Well, in the early days, the Steelers weren't very good, so it was rough sledding when I was a young guy. I used to say I hated Sundays because the Steelers would lose and I had school the next day. So we've come a long way, but obviously, growing up in the game was fun. Being around players all my life was fun, and we've been lucky at the Steelers to have so many great players, and you're going to meet one of them in a minute. It's just been a real privilege to be part of it for this long.
It's been so incredible to see the game grow in the way that it has. But I don't think I've ever asked you this question. When did you fall in love with the game?
As early as I can remember. The moment I remember the most, though, was a friend of my father's gave me a Duke football. And I slept with that thing. My wife likes to tease me. She still has it. But it was... I'll never forget the smell of it, and I just was like, I was in love with the game. At that time, probably not a lot of people know, but the Colts were actually in Baltimore, and I grew up in Washington, and so I was a Colts fan. And so I love the Johnny Unitas, who actually has a Pittsburgh root
From Pittsburgh,
yeah. And so it was just it was fun for me to actually follow the Colts. Then I became an NFL employee, and as you know, we root for whoever's behind.
That's right.
So that's what we do.
Yes, and we also root for this expansion because it's been so cool to see all of these new faces and all of these new cities that the game is being played in. Obviously, Art and his family's history in Ireland and the way that the Irish have embraced the Steelers, how important is that part, the heritage part, in the expansion of the league?
I think it's our responsibility, honestly. I just think in today's world, you have to be global. And second, to your point, you see these faces, but every time we play an international game, the fans just come out in droves. They want more. Do you want more? Yeah! Okay. So I figured they'd say that. But I really, truly believe our game can and will be global. And I think our job is actually to share our game with the rest of the world, ultimately.
And Michael, that's what you've been so good at doing here in Ireland. So what does it mean for your community? And you touched on it a little bit, and we talked about it last night, to have the NFL here in your country.
To have the NFL here generally is absolutely incredible, but when you have a team that have a real heritage, a real connection to this island, and you see Jerome Bettis, you see Ike Taylor, you see Dan Rooney going up and talking to young children, playing flag football. I don't know any other team internationally that has that connection. So this is like, yes, it's the first Dublin game, and we've had many games over the last 20 odd years. This is historic, this is special. And I think for a lot of fans here, you know, we've all went to Dublin, we've went to Munich, we've went to Frankfurt. I think it's time. I think it's beyond time, and I've sort of been asking myself all week, how hasn't this happened so many years ago? And I think it's important to say, you know, and one thing I didn't mention at the start was the support, that the genuine support that the NFL UK and Ireland team, the office, have given not just us but Irish fans by doing so much. And they've put in a lot of the groundwork in 2007, Alistair Kirkwood, different guys that really put their careers on that being a massive success. And we all know that, you know, 20 to 30 years later it is. We've how many games this year? And it feels like it's just the perfect time for Dublin to have it. So it's brilliant.
It does. And so many people put so much work into bringing the game here. So Art, what do you hope the impact is of this game this weekend, and where the future goes from here?
Well, you know, there are so many Steeler fans. Our fans are great. They travel to all of our games. But to see so many of them, you know, travel across the pond to be here this week and join with their fellow Irish fans, it's going to be great to see. I think we're going to see a lot of terrible towels in the stadium tomorrow. And it just, you know, it helps us kind of reward the fans that are here that have been, you know, growing with us for so long. It's just great to be here with them.
And this isn't just like a one-off for you. You're doing stuff year-round.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell everyone here all of the work that you do all calendar year to help grow the game?
Yeah, well, we have watch parties and different flag football events throughout the year. And, of course, next year we're going to host the draft in Pittsburgh. So we'll probably have some people from Dublin come over to help us celebrate that occasion. So there's just a lot going on that, you know, we're happy to be sharing with all of our friends in Ireland.
Well, I also want to know a little bit about the Ireland Fund, because I wasn't aware of all of the incredible work that all of the organizations that this fund has touched. So for anyone here in the audience that doesn't know, can you give them just a little snippet of what the Ireland Fund is? It started, what, 1976 by your dad?
Yeah, well, my dad and his good friend and partner, Tony O'Reilly, started the Ireland Fund. And you know, it's a long story. I mean, people in Ireland understand where things were in the 70s and the troubles that were taking place in Northern Ireland. It was, you know, a difficult place. And Dad and Tony O'Reilly wanted to start a fund to support causes for peace and really try to bring people together. And, you know, people were, you know, bombing each other and shooting each other, and it, you know, was not a good thing. And so, thank God, you know, people in the Ireland Fund came together. A lot of people from America came together and raised a lot of money over the years. Millions of dollars have been raised and supported many charities, both in the Republic of Ireland and in Northern Ireland now. And you know, for a lot of reasons, I think Ireland's a better place today for it. And you know, so we're proud of the work that they've done.
You touch on, yeah, let's hear it.
It's also a great fun night. We've New York and Pittsburgh. Is New York the biggest?
New York was the first, and it's always the biggest.
It's a fun night. I was there a couple years ago. So
and next March we'll celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Ireland Fund at the New York dinner. So
wow!
Another big
I'll wait for my invitation in the mail. That's great.
All right.
That's exciting. You know, you touched on something that I think is really important, that bringing people together, and that's what sport does in general, and the NFL does such a great job of that. I always think to myself, two things do that: music and sports. Bring people together no matter what you believe in or what your opinion is. And Roger, when you think about expanding to these new markets, how important is it for you to engage with the community, even philanthropically, to have that impact and to bring people together?
Yeah, I think it's really critical. Wherever you go, you become part of that community. And I think our teams do such a great job of it also. You put roots down. And roots mean you give back to your community. You make sure that there's a legacy here that continues to give back into the community. So we always try to find the right opportunity to do that, which has a great impact on the community. But it's also your partnerships and who you're working with. Not just media partners, but sponsors. I was just with the Jameson's guys in the back, and they're great partners over here for us. And it's important to find the right mixture that can help us. The GAA is also a great partner in helping us get flag football and getting. I just came from a flag football game with men and women playing together, and it was really it's fantastic. And they're enjoying the game. And they're getting experience, and that ultimately is going to be what lifts us into a real sport that everyone's going to see on a regular basis here.
Mm-hmm. And so we'll see this tomorrow, the game here in Dublin. I can't believe this week has really flown by. I'm sure for you, Michael, it has. Now that everyone is here, everyone's coming in. What are you most excited about when you think about tomorrow?
I think it's to see people just come together, like from around this island, from the US. We were talking about it backstage. It's the biggest movement of people from North America to Europe since around the time of the war. It's incredible. And as somebody that was in the airport yesterday, I can attest to that. It was absolutely bananas. I'm just excited. I'm excited to see what Croke Park looks like, and I know a lot of people here agree and understand. For us, it's home. It's where our counties, our clubs go and play, and it really means an awful lot more to us. The hill being seated, what's that like? How's that going to look? And the field is big, and I think it's actually, you can look at that in one way. I think it's going to be perfect because we can get both teams either side. I seen the video last night of how it looks, and it just looks incredible. I really feel, and I think back to the Munich game, the fans there.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be really. I think the Irish fans mixed with the American fans, and a lot of British and European fans as well. I think it could create one of the best atmospheres we've ever seen at any game, never mind a European or international game.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Colin, one of the things that it makes this game different too is most of our games when we play internationally, it's 90% fans from that country. This one is really 30% of the fans are coming from the United States for this game. That's how popular it is to come to Ireland, which is great from an economic impact, but it also demonstrates, I think, the interest in the United States in this game. You'll be the only game at 9:30 East Coast time in the States tomorrow. And I think it'll be the highest rated game that we've had for a 9:30 window because there's such a strong connection. I mean, you're lucky we have two people up here with heritage, Irish heritage. And
Actually, all four.
All four. Well, I know Michael does. I didn't know you did.
Shout out County
Michael,
Mayo, County Cork.
Michael's definitely got it. So.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But I think it's part of. I think it's going to be a great mix of people in the stadium tomorrow for that reason, and so it's going to be a special thing to be in Croke Park too.
It's especially with the history of Croke Park, and as the league continues to expand internationally, how important is balancing the business growth, but then also having that cultural integration and making sure that you are honoring the area that you're in now?
I think it's really important. I'd add three things to that. Is one, the business, but making sure you do it in a way that makes the people of Ireland proud. In the case for tomorrow, that's going to be shown to millions of people around the world. We want to make sure it demonstrates the passion that these fans have for football. But also, you really got to focus on the fact this is a real game, so the competitiveness of it is really important, right? This means a lot to the Steelers and to the Vikings. It's real. They only have 17 of these, and it counts. And I think trying to make sure that we balance the fact that this is an incredible promotion for football on a global basis. It's also an incredibly important football game, and we need to make sure we balance that.
So when I think about this game happening in Dublin. I mean, this is, for all three of you, this is almost like your baby. And now you get to see it. You get to watch it come to life. Art, for you specifically, has there been a moment this week where you really felt the impact of the Steelers here in Ireland, or just NFL in general here in Ireland?
Well, from the day I got here, just seeing Steeler fans, Steeler jerseys walking around on the streets, it's been great to see, and signage everywhere in the city. And every day it's grown, so it's going to be so much fun. And like I say, I think we're going to see a lot of terrible towels in the stands tomorrow.
I've seen them all over the streets. I've seen them in the airport. I've seen them all over.
Absolutely.
Michael, what is one thing that you would suggest for football fans visiting Dublin to do while they're here? Asking for a friend.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
And asking a man not from Dublin as well is a really good one.
Aside from going to the game.
Obviously, the touristy areas, if you've never been before, you need to go and look at it.
Yeah.
But I would say go out, explore the city. Like I was down in different areas this week that I've never been to in Dublin, even heading towards practice yesterday, going out of the city a bit. There's some beautiful gardens, bars, and not like the city, just like the city centre, the people are fantastic. Go in, sit down, have a quiet pint, have a cup of tea, and just enjoy the moment. And I think, for all of us as well, enjoy this, because if it's been 27, 28 years since we've had a pre-season game, we could be looking back in 20 years going, that was really special. So get out of the city a little bit, enjoy it. I know you've been to a lot of places in Ireland, and maybe will as well over the next few days.
Colleen,
so.
I thought you were working this week.
Listen, I'm working hard, all right? I'm going all over the place. I'm with the fans. I'm in the streets. Listen, I actually talked to an Irish fan the other day, and I thought it was really fascinating the way that they described the pubs to me, because they said it's not necessarily just about getting pints and drinking. It's more about storytelling. It's more about connecting with your friends and your family and your community, and that's where you go to do this. And that is, I think, where the stadium will be tomorrow as well, where everyone will go and they'll come together. And it's like, I'm not trying to be cheesy, but it is just such a beautiful thing to see when everyone does come together like this, especially in place. An amazing stage tomorrow at Croke Park.
Yeah, but the stories are a lot better when you've had a couple pints.
We would love to get some pints up here for more stories.
Right?
Do we need to get some pints up here? Or Jameson? Either way.
Definitely.
Art, do you have a message for Irish fans that will be attending the game tomorrow?
Well, like I said, bring your terrible towels, and it's going to be great to see the Pittsburgh crowd mixed with the Irish crowd, and I just think it's going to be a fantastic day. Can't wait to see it.
You and me both, and everyone here. Actually, everyone here, we're going to open it up to questions. Does anyone have a question here for anyone on stage?
I just say, from someone from your age, where your grandmother dad's from, thank you very much for
We'll bring you a mic. Everyone wants to hear your beautiful voice.
For someone from Newry, where your dad's from, thank you very much for bringing the game back. And my mum went to Newry High School, where you donated $10,000 yesterday.
Oh, good.
So I want to say thank you very much for giving back to the community as well.
Very good.
That's
great
good.
to hear from you.
Question for Roger, if that's okay. Roger, how you doing? I had the pleasure of meeting you in 2018 at the Eagles-Jags game in Wembley. And I asked you when you were coming to Dublin, and thankfully you're here now, so I won't ask you what took so long.
What did I tell you then?
We're working on it. So
7 years isn't bad, huh?
Yeah, not bad. But the question is, when will you make a decision if you'll come back next year? We all hope it's a foregone conclusion, but is that already decided, or is that to be decided based on how it goes over the weekend?
No, it's one of the things that's really interesting about the international series. It was before we had to sort of convince people not just to play in it, our teams, but also to convince the communities of the impact that this would have and what it really is all about. That's actually flipped. We no longer have to really convince teams. We have a long list of teams. Every team has played in an international game multiple times, and I also think the communities have changed. They're seeing not just the business side of it, which is the economic impact, which is really significant, but also what it does for bringing a community together and the lift and the exposure it gets on a global basis. I think that's really the greatest value personally. We never like to say whether we're coming back until we finish the first one. So let's talk on Monday. But I have no doubt this is going to be incredibly successful. I also have no doubt we'll be back.
So no pressure. We're all counting on you, so we can make it back here.
Yeah.
Question for Michael here. What has your preparation been like to get ready to be on the call
I can't
for
see you
the game tomorrow?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
How are you? Question for Michael.
You want to stand up?
Oh yeah, of course.
There we go.
Michael, question for you for being on the call for the game tomorrow. What does your preparation look like this week? Are you ready?
Thank you very much for the question. I appreciate it. I'm so excited, man. Like, I can't wait. And I think just outside of that, very quickly, tomorrow's broadcast is the first Irish-led broadcast of an NFL game since 1991, I want to say.
Wow. On
RTE, so Virgin Media. Prepared, ready. I am not... So Pat McAfee said it was calling play-by-play. I am doing pre-game, half-time, post-game, and we have, I think, the NFL Network feed, and F.A. Obada and Dave McIntyre are going to react to that. But certainly with some really special things planned for it. And I would say to the crowd here, you know, I know there's some people based in Northern Ireland as well, and it's great to see the partnership with Channel 5 for people that can watch Virgin Media. You know, this is all because of your work, your effort. The league have seen this, and to get a TV deal here, you know, we're going to have the London games. There's a really exciting few weeks ahead, and you know, watch it, join in. We want to make it fan-centric, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And I take any criticism, so please let me know. Thank you very much.
I think we have time for one more question.
Question for the commissioner. Has he tried any hurling yet? And if so, which sport do you think takes more skill?
I haven't done that. You know, we had an executive that came over here, I think, for around the '97 game and tore his knee up. So as soon as I heard that, I said, I'm not doing it. You know, listen, one of the great things about Ireland, and that I think, and I really think you guys are in a different tier but I'm jealous of your culture, is the importance of sport in this culture. How it's ingrained in you as a young child, what the work the GAA does at the school systems, but the competitiveness and the values that you get from playing sports, I think is so much of who you are as people, and I think people who play sports, I'm a big fan of that. If I'm looking at two people who are candidates for a job and one of them played a sport, I always want to know what they learned from that sport, the competitiveness they got from that, the values that they got from that, the hard work, the teamwork. And the teamwork's the biggest one for us as a game, because you have to, sure, you want to play well, but you want to play well so your team wins. And in football, you have to play well so your teammate plays well. Ultimately, it's a team game, and the greatest team game in the world, in my view. And I think that is something that I always take from our game. I use things I learned from playing football in my job every day. And so I think those are the important things, and why I just appreciate the culture here, the people here, and frankly, the government for making that happen.
You know what? Round of applause for Ireland.
Definitely.
And a round of applause for Art Rooney and Michael McQuaid. Raj, I'm going to keep you up here for now. We're going to do a little bit of a line switch. Gang, let's hear it for these two incredible men.
Thanks, Art. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for everything you've done.
Thank you.
See ya.
Yes. All right. We are going to bring up our next two panelists, everybody. Okay, let's introduce a 7-time Pro Bowler, a Pro Football Hall of Famer, one of the biggest personalities in the game that the league has ever seen, Mr. John Randall. Hi! Nice to come on. And joining him, we have Notre Dame alum, father to a current Fighting Irish wide receiver, he harnessed the luck of the Irish to go to 6 Pro Bowls, a Super Bowl title, and all the way to Canton, Ohio. Everybody, the bus has pulled up. Let's hear it for Jerome Bettis. Incredible shoe game up here. Very nice. Very white, very clean. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about flag football first, because the expansion has been insane. It's sort of like the expansion of the international games. I'm watching that grow as I'm watching flag football grow at the same time. When you look at all of the contributing factors to the growth of flag, how will the Olympics at this point elevate the game?
Well, as I said, I just came from a flag football game over at the Ambassador's residence, which Dan Rooney, someone who was beloved to all of us, actually created that around the July 4th holiday. So he would have a big game in the backyard over his residence. And it's a big backyard, by the way. And it was so much fun. And I think flag gives everyone an opportunity. It's the accessibility, right? It's cheap, it's easy to play. Most importantly to me, it gives young women a chance to play the game. And so people can play this game and they can't play it obviously at the level these two do. They're both Hall of Famers and superstars, but they get a chance to understand what you get out of the game. And I think that's really important. And having young kids play sports and have that competitive spirit, as I said before, is really important.
We love that the Colleens can get involved in flag football.
You would be a very good flag football.
Thank you very much. Jerome, when you look at flag football, what are you most excited about with it coming to the Olympics?
Well, I'm excited that a lot of other countries have an opportunity to experience the game. You talked about the young ladies. We had an opportunity to go up to Belfast Thursday, and it was a football camp. And we had just as many young ladies as we had young men. And this is the first time, I've done football camps, all my life. To see this many ladies there, I was shocked and impressed because not only were they out there, they were competing, right? And these young ladies,
and great athletes,
great athletes. They have feet.
We want to win.
And they're running around. I'm saying to myself, "Wow, this is impressive." So I think that is going to lead to other countries loving the game. And I think the most important part is the women become football fans, right? And it's not just a male-dominated fan base. Now you get the women who understand the game because they played it, right? Yeah. They're familiar. So I think that's going to be great.
Even from a fantasy football standpoint, I'm in 4 leagues. 3 of them are all women. And that just happened organically.
That's right.
But when you look at the fact that this flag football sport is so popular now and it'll be in the Olympic Games, do you see that as sort of a turning point for the sport?
I do. Yeah, listen, the Olympic stage is the biggest international sports stage, right? So you want to be on that. And I'm actually going over to see the IOC next week, actually to talk about the future and beyond LA 28. We think it's a sport that people can play and play at high levels. And I think Mexico, the women's team, have won 2 out of the 3 last championships. There you go. Maybe you're a player back there. I can't see you. But I think it's going to be incredibly competitive. It's not a slam dunk that the American team is going to win. I actually think there's going to be a lot of competition because there are so many great athletes. And the flag, I think we have 20 million people playing flag football around the world now.
That's what a great job, first of all, just to hear that number. Unreal. And you say that it's not a slam dunk for the U.S. to win. John, what advice would you give to flag football players that maybe have their eye on a dream of becoming an NFL player?
Oh, my God. I would tell them to go out there, have fun, enjoy it. What I love from it is in Minnesota, we have Special Olympics. And so for Special Olympics, we have flag football. So that's another alternative for allowing people with special needs to play And so for watching them play, participate, I think it involves other people and seeing it, the look on their faces, seeing them emulating the National Football League, looking at some of their players. And so seeing it from that perspective, I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm. We are too. And you know what? We are also huge fans of the Dublin City Wolves here. Is that a team that we have some members from over here?
They were playing over
Okay,
at the
all right. We're going to have
Ambassador.
to check out a game maybe. We'll connect after this. So, Roger, flag football, obviously, as John was just alluding to, the accessibility of it is so huge. It allows so many people from so many different walks of life to get involved in the sport. And that's what sports really are all about, just having fun, coming together, playing a game, but also teamwork and learning all of these life skills that you then take with you along the way. So how is the NFL using flag football to grow the game in all sorts of countries all over the world?
Well, it's really important. You know, a lot of people say where we're playing is where we're going. And it's actually almost the reverse in some ways. We don't come to a market until we have introduced the game, and so that kids are playing the game. We also don't come until we have media partners where we can share the game through whatever media platform you all choose. So it's really important to have what I would call as a foundation before you come to a particular market, because then the game sort of lights the fire at that stage, and that's where, you know, that's a tribute to this market. We've seen the fan base grow here. We know they understand the game. And I think that's the difference. You came here in 97, right?
Yeah.
So the bus played here in 97, and I think what I have seen when we play games is that the fan base is much more educated about the game. They understand. I tell this story all the time. When that was one of my jobs when I was earlier in my career. I would be the person going out front trying to figure out where we're going to play. And we picked Tokyo. And at the end of the game was close. So at the 2-minute, we told them to announce it was going to go into overtime. And they all started clapping because they thought it was an encore. They thought we were doing it special for them. And when officials were throwing flags, they started clapping. So, but now fans truly understand the game. I find that when we go to a game internationally, it's a hard time knowing that you're not in the States, because the fan base is so strong. Sometimes you see where there's an imbalance, and in other words, you see fans of all 32 teams. Now you're starting to see, last year in particular, the Vikings were there, and there was an incredible fan base for the Vikings. I think tomorrow will be pretty strong for the Steelers, because they travel well.
They really do, especially to Dublin. But John Randall does not like that. He's taking exception. I do have to say, I really hope there is encore football tomorrow. I love encore football in general. We love overtime.
With that.
You know, this is a good idea. John, how is it for you to be here representing the Vikings in Dublin on this international stage? How has your experience been so far?
It's been awesome. You know, I understand that we are the visiting team, team. But no, it's been fun. I've seen a lot of Vikings jerseys, and I love that. Seeing a few of these Steelers jerseys, don't like it, but I'm okay with it. But no, overall, my experience has been wonderful. I'm enjoying my time. I'm having fun. I'm drinking a few Guinness here and there, and looking to drinking some more Guinness.
Hey, the Vikings, they haven't lost yet internationally.
So. Oh, we have not?
No, 4-0. Pretty good. Pretty good. And then Jerome, as RG mentioned earlier, he's ready for the game. My God. You played back here in 97 at Croke Park, and I believe, actually, we might have some footage to show people.
Really? Wow.
Can we roll that?
Oh, wow.
you go.
I love it.
I love it.
Wow.
I'm most impressed you played in that game.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a great story about that game. You say you're impressed that I played in that game.
Well, not many of the starters are playing in it.
Well, let me explain to you why. So, when the game was announced, obviously the heritage and the Rooney family with Ireland, Patricia Rooney, Dan Rooney's wife, she gave a mandate to her husband. She said, "I want the trophy."
Oh my God.
What? She told him, "I want the trophy."
You don't have enough trophies?
No. She wanted the trophy.
I do.
So
I
at that
remember
point, all bets were off. So we played in that game to make sure we won that game because he could not go home without the trophy. And the trophy is proudly represented in our trophy case with the Super Bowl's trophies. And we've got a glass piece from Ireland that signified us winning that football game. So it was that important to her. It was an amazing opportunity. And for me, obviously, having played there in '97 and now seeing Dublin today, it is a totally different city, but the atmosphere is totally different. It was one of those, we're here for a game, and everybody's kind of like, what game? You know, we went to a couple pubs and people are like, "Oh, okay, hey, how you doing?" And so that, why are you here, kind of thing. Well, we're here for a game.
This is exactly what Wolford said.
Yeah. Well, now, as soon as we walk in, "You here for the game?" Like, yep, here for the game. And it's just so different where the question was raised totally different way. What are you here for? And now, are you here for the game?
Exactly.
Which tells me that not only is the NFL well received, but they understand and they are excited about the game being played this Sunday. So it's a big moment, not only for the NFL, but I think for the Irish fans to get an opportunity to see live football in a different way now. They've seen it on television, now they get an opportunity to experience it and experience what going to a game is. Because I try to tell people, the energy when the game starts and the pageantry around it, it's electric. And so they'll get a chance to experience it for the first time.
There's nothing like being at a live game.
So you may want to be bringing that trophy out of that case because it'll be a different experience tomorrow. Just saying.
That trophy is there for good. You don't get a trophy for winning this game. This one is just going in the record books.
I don't know.
You don't get a trophy. You can't get it.
We are the Vikings. We take over.
That's a good one.
Oh my gosh. So now we kind of look forward to, actually, I want to say just real quick, the fact that fans over here are so dedicated and so loyal, because I think about how when, with all of the games in America, you guys are watching these games in the middle of the night. Now you get to not only attend a game, which a live game is a completely different experience, but you get to go at a fairly normal time as well. This must be an incredible moment for you guys, not only to see it in your own backyard, but also not to have to watch this particular game in the middle of the night. So I just want to say, unbelievable job being such loyal fans to this game.
I agree.
So this is so early in the season, we're having this game here in Dublin. And obviously, we saw the game in Brazil as well. And we know that we're going to have a game in Madrid, and that Australia was announced for next year. What else could we expect for the future? Is there any places you want to name drop at all?
Listen, I think our next step after Australia will be probably moving games into Asia. I think that's kind of we would like to be playing in, and we are serious about being a global sport, and I think we have such great players, past and present, and in the future. He's got a future one. Right, it's already playing. And I saw Fitz the other day. He's got Devin's going to play at Notre Dame next year too. I don't know, John. You got any kids who are playing?
No. My daughter, she plays flag football.
She does play flag.
Yes, she does. She enjoys it.
I bet she's good too.
Always. She's tough. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so yeah.
She's trying to get that trophy.
But I do think our game is going to be global. We would like to get to 16 games, so everyone's playing one game a year internationally.
I love that. That would be maybe a great way to get another game back in Ireland, but that's just like a random thought that I had. So
Drag York over by his ears.
Obviously, we're still so early in the season, only 3 weeks in, well, besides the Thursday night game. So we've started week 4, but so far we have seen some unbelievable games. Even when a slate seems like it might be maybe not the most exciting, the games have been absolutely wild and insane with, all of the blocked kicks. I don't know what was going on last week, but that was out of control. So what are your thoughts just on the season so far and the competitive balance?
We're thrilled with the competitive balance, but that has been true for so many years. I think we're going on, 18 of 21 seasons where we've had 6 different teams that make it into the playoffs from the year before. That's great, I think, for the fans. I think it's great for each of the communities where we play. But I also, I'm really excited. You mentioned on the extra points, on the block kicks. For us, bringing special teams back is really important. I mean, we have an offensive and a defensive players up here, but special teams is really important ultimately. They win games, and kickoff is an example. We are down to 20% of our kickoffs are returned. We're now up to 77%, which I think bringing that play back and doing it safely where we think we can do it, where our players are safer, is an important part of it, but it's also an exciting play. Mm-hmm. And so I think special teams coming back has been a big part of the story so far this year, and probably will be the rest of the year. Special
teams coming back, maybe Jerome and John coming back. Let's just say, in this simulation, you two are suiting up. Who's winning that battle between the two of you?
No, not going to do that. Not going to do that at all.
No, okay.
He's a runner. I was a pass rusher, so I didn't really care too much about running backs. I prefer the quarterback, so that was...
We're going one-on-one here.
Yeah, I'm the guy he spit out. Yeah. He don't know what I mean. He wants the other guy.
Well, John, I know that you would love to talk a little bit about these Vikings right now. Both of these teams come in at 2-1. Obviously, not having J.J. McCarthy is a bummer, but having Carson Wentz, he looked good last week. What are your thoughts going into this game in terms of even Brian Flores' blitz and how that could affect the game?
Well, from watching practice, our defense is just amazing. And Carson, he's a guy from North Dakota, up in Fargo, not too far from the Twin Cities. And so he's our new guy. And you know what? I've watched him play in college, so I know what he can do. And I know he's going to represent the Purple well. I'm excited to see him to keep playing. We put J.J. McCarthy on the burner, but I think Carson can handle it. But our defense, man, I'm just looking forward to them getting back there to Aaron Rodgers, letting them see the purple in his face, I just think they just want to, get acquainted. And, Jonathan Grenard, I'm looking forward to him being in that backfield. I'm excited about it. Oh, just excited,
Please don't get him excited.
Jerome, he mentioned Aaron Rodgers. How interesting is it for you to see Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, Jalen Ramsey, all in Steelers uniforms?
Yeah, it's a new look.
Right?
It's a new look. It's quite a new look. But it goes to show you that anything is possible and anybody can be anywhere. This game, it's in years past, it was always players were synonymous with one team, and that's no longer the case now. And so that's why you don't become enemies with guys on other teams, because you could be teammates the next year. So you understand that, but I believe the philosophy has to stay the same in terms of the organization. And I think the Steelers, they believe in being physical, and I think that's an area of concern right now, because the Steelers, offensively and defensively, have not been the Steelers of old in terms of being physically, running the football, stopping the run. And I think that's an area where they understand it as well, what they need to get back to. And so I think there's going to be that shift to running the football and stopping the run. Now, the benefit that we have is until we can get there, Aaron Rodgers is an incredible quarterback, has been for his entire career, and he can manage a game without having all of the
he said manage
necessary issues. Well, that's what the quarterbacks do.
Over there.
We're watching his face.
That's what the quarterbacks are there to do, and he's one of the best. Now, I will say this, the Minnesota defense, they are very aggressive, blitz. So the problem is making sure that Aaron Rodgers stays upright. If he stays upright, then I think the Vikings are in big trouble.
I wish you could see what's happening behind you. Honestly, if I had one wish for tomorrow, it would be that the two of you sit next to each other and we have a camera trained on you the entire time you're mic'd
doing
up.
commentating? Oh, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah, we can do that.
Raj, before we get out of here, do you have a message for the fans?
A big, big thank you. Listen, you guys are great sportsmen, but more importantly, for us today and being here in your town, thank you for the hospitality. You've made us all feel really welcome, and we can't wait to be back. So, thank you.
So we have one more surprise for everyone out here, and for that, we're going to have Art and Michael come back up to the stage, because
this is going to be good.
Yes, this is very exciting.
I know this one.
No.
Now, Michael, you have someone in this crowd here that's a very special fan. You want to tell us a little bit about this fan?
I do. I want to say one very quick thing. It's very hard to shut me up this weekend, I know. We're staying backstage and we're talking for 20, 30 minutes there, and I didn't acknowledge your father, Dan. And I know he'll be looking down tomorrow smiling, and it's a very, very special day. So I hope you enjoy tomorrow, and thank you so much again for coming over.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Now, in case you've been living under a rock for the last few minutes or few hours, the Rooney family have close ties to Newry. And I know somebody from Newry in the audience, and funnily enough, somebody else from Newry was asking questions during it as well. We've been very lucky over the last few years to do a few events from Newry, get to know people, and there is a guy called Mickey who's in the crowd who is a lifelong Steelers fan, has been to Pittsburgh many times.
Can we have him come up here?
Come on ahead up, Mickey, by the way. Let's give him a big round of applause. Let's go.
Oh, he was dancing earlier. All right.
Okay, so Mickey loves the Steelers, and you eat, sleep, repeat Steelers. And I believe Mr. Rooney has a small token of appreciation for you, just to round this off.
So, Mickey, we got an old memento of tomorrow's big game, a jersey from Croke Park, and the 2025 season game. We wanted to present you with this jersey. And in addition, I want to invite you to come to Pittsburgh next year for the draft. So we're going to see you in Pittsburgh.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Let's get everyone to stand up, take a picture with our friends who will be joining us in Pittsburgh for the draft.
Congratulations.
Awesome. We We are pumped to see you in Pittsburgh. And everyone, thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you so much, everyone who came out today. We can't wait to see you at the game tomorrow. Let's hear it for Dublin, the Steelers. We have John Randall, we have our Rooney, we have Jerome Bettis, we have our contestant winner here as well, Roger Goodell and Michael McQuaid. Thank you, everyone, and thank you to Whelan's.
City Hall in New York. 'Twas a wonderful craft, she was rigged for the back. You know how the wild wind drove her. She stood several blasts, she had 27 masts, and they called her the Irish Rover.
We had 1 million bags of the best lager rags. We had 2 million barrels of stone. We had 3 million sides of our blind horses' hides. We had